Luis Elizondo's book, Imminent, Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs, is due August 20th. There's a link in the description if you want to pre-order. Now, I have an excerpt from the book that I want to go over today, and it's unbelievable, right? There was this talk of a 23-minute UFO video, and Luis Elizondo famously spoke about it in many different interviews. And in today's video, I'm going to share a montage of clips courtesy of Skyfire News that explains all the different times that Luis Elizondo mentioned this 23-minute UFO video. Then after that, I'm going to read an excerpt from the book that gives us the full story of this 23-minute UFO video. You're not going to want to miss it. And I have a couple other things at the end that you might find interesting. So let's jump in. If you're new to the channel, y'all, and you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button. I put out a new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day, y'all. I'm trying to reach 30,000, so please hit that subscribe button. And, of course, hit that like button, vetters. That really helps out the videos, so thank y'all so much for the support there. And, of course, comment down below, what do you think about Luis Elizondo's 23-minute video story, right? This is interesting. Let's dive in. All right, so again, here's the book, Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs, Imminent, and link in the description. Go check it out. Now, again, this is courtesy of Skyfire News, so I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to check it out. We're going to watch this whole video, and again, every time Luis Elizondo mentioned this 23-minute video, at least a compilation of select times. Let's watch it, and then we'll go from there.
And you mentioned Lou Elizondo just a few minutes ago, and he had mentioned, and I wondered if he had ever, or you ever heard about this 23-minute video that he claims will be very telling that may be coming out at some point. Have you ever heard about that?
I have.
Is there anything you could say about that? Or?
Well, I'll let Lou if it needs to be said. I don't want to. Yeah, okay. There's quite a few things out there that I wish, and that is one of them that I wish.
Oh, when are we going to see that 50-foot away pic?
Oh man, that's not up to me, but yeah, there's a couple there that'll rattle you pretty good. There's one I won't go into detail, but the video is about 23 minutes long. It's 23 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
Popcorn, gotta get that.
Yeah, popcorn and some 3D glasses and maybe some Coca-Cola or something.
Coca-Cola.
The 23-minute video. Have you seen it?
Yes.
It's 23 minutes.
It is a very, yes. And it's, in all seriousness, the video was extremely compelling, one of many. And
what does the video look like? Is it grainy like the stuff that has already been leaked, or is this something that is definitive?
No, it's definitive, and it's perplexing because every time you think you're like, okay, that's what I'm looking at, all of a sudden, bang, it changes. I can't go into any more than that.
That's fine. That's fine.
Walking a fine line, but it will. I suspect at some point it's going to come out. My hope is that it would come out during like some sort of public hearing. Wouldn't that be grand, right? Everybody can see it for themselves. And there's other ones. There's other ones too that are equally compelling. And again, let me reemphasize, Jimmy. It didn't stop with the Omaha and the USS Kidd. Okay, I've said this before. This is occurring regularly and routinely. Just because you haven't seen it in the newspaper yet doesn't mean it's not occurring. This is happening all the time around the world.
Are you saying that this 23-minute video is recent? What year was it shot?
I can't. It was a little while ago. It was when I was still in ATIP.
It's when you were still in. Okay.
But I can tell you that the frequency of occurrences are happening routinely. It's happening all the time, and it's to the point now where there are dedicated spaces of analysts, and I won't go into any more than that are trying to look at this problem. And
can you describe the shape of the craft in this video? What did it look like?
Jimmy, you're very persistent, and I can appreciate that.
Was it tic-tac-ish? Was it tic-tac-ish?
I really can't elaborate on
Okay,
this
just
video.
nod your head yes or no, and then you don't have to say it out loud. Was it tic-tac-ish?
It was not tic-tac shape. No, it was involving potentially multiple vehicles, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Now, the previous videos that have been leaked tended to be out over the ocean involving the Navy. Is this particular video of that genre where it was with a battle group, or was it over land?
You know what? I can't answer that, but I think if it comes out, people will understand why I can't. They're going to go, "Oh, that's why he couldn't answer that." I can't elaborate on that at this time.
Okay. Gun camera footage or with a phone?
No, an official U.S. collection sensor.
Oh man, you are good. You are good. That can
man,
mean
I'm trying to
anything.
thread that needle, man. Look, you honestly one wrong word, man, and you're gonna see me in an orange jumpsuit. So I really don't like orange. And if you've never, I mean, obviously you've never seen me wear orange, right? I don't particularly like wearing orange.
Don't do it,
especially
orange.
I won't help you with that. Do you? Is this something that? Would you be surprised if it gets leaked?
I would be, because it wasn't pervasive. This video wasn't something that has been, shared with a whole bunch of other people, and it was locked down pretty tight, on our system. So I would be very surprised. I also, frankly, between you and your audience and me, I would discourage anybody from leaking it. I know people say, well, that's only how we can get conversations going and how we know what we know today. Well, maybe, but there's also an argument against that. And I think.
But now we're talking about 23 minutes. That's a lot of data there. That's a lot of information.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. I mean, it's that's a whole lot of time to say, gee whiz, what the heck is that, right? And have other sensors to utilize to validate and verify what you're seeing.
And
so that's a very good point.
Before we move on, what was the speed? Was it something that was extraordinary beyond our own capabilities?
Enough to make us raise our eyebrows and say, whoa.
Any erratic movements? Any excessive G forces?
Gosh, Jimmy, you're asking me some really good and trying. I want to answer this, but I don't know if I can. I just watched Lou go like this. Everybody. Yeah, a peculiar movement. Yes, for sure.
Really,
and movement that we wouldn't really understand.
Was the craft big enough for maybe a pilot, or do you think it was just under intelligent control?
Well, I'm not sure it was even one craft. That's part of the mystery here. It appears that maybe there were several craft involved, and that's what's so interesting.
But big enough for somebody or remotely controlled.
No,
if you're going to make a guess,
certainly big enough for from our context. Certainly big enough that a human being or several human beings could probably fit inside.
If we want to reach the finish line.
Right. You mentioned, I don't know, maybe I want to say it was 4 or 5 months ago, maybe longer, that we should be looking for about a 23-minute, very clear video. Any update on that?
Yeah, let me tell you what I can tell you is that there's a 23-minute video that's very compelling. It's very clear. It's taken from a very sophisticated platform. I cannot say the platform or the circumstances in which it was taken because we have to protect sources and methods. But the video itself should at some point be able to be released. Now, let's not forget that the Pentagon recently last year said they deleted all my emails and all my files, right? Which is, of course, a load of baloney because that doesn't really happen. In real life, there's always backup servers and there's more information. And by the way, there's recipients to these emails, which, by the way, some of this stuff is going to be discussed in my book. There's going to be information that people are going to say, holy cow, whoa, what? Are you kidding me? Smoking gun. A lot of this is going to be explored. I want to provide people the definitive proof that they're looking for. The problem is, again, I cannot violate my non-disclosure agreement. But know that there's a 23-minute video out there that's very, very interesting, very compelling. And what it shows is an object clearly that isn't anything that we have. It's not ours. And it's doing things that, frankly, we can't do.
Well, there you go. Shout out to Skyfire News for putting that compilation together. Again, I'll put a link in the description for that. So what's going on with this 23-minute video, right? His book is coming out. We're under a month out, August 20th, and a preview came out of his book, and in it, this 23-minute video is finally revealed. Not the video itself, but what's in the video, a better description of it. So I'm going to read that now. Again, this is an excerpt from Luis Elizondo's upcoming book, Imminent, Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs, out August 20th. Link in the description. Go pre-order. Here we go. Another UAP video to hit my inbox involved a Predator, unmanned aerial vehicle, drone conducting a surveillance of a nuclear facility in a particularly hostile country when its camera picked up 3 luminous objects. Let me read that again. A nuclear facility in a particularly hostile country when its camera picked up 3 luminous objects. Just 3 dots. Unexplainably, the dots began to fly in a regimented formation, a perfect triangle. As the dots approached the Predator, they became more distinguishable. They were not only flying, but were solid in structure. For 23 minutes, these craft tormented the Predator. They traversed 60 miles in the blink of an eye, traveling to the horizon, only to dart back and shatter the Predator within a few hundred feet. If that were not amazing enough, the 3 craft would routinely reorient themselves, switching from a wedge formation to a linear formation. As they danced across the sky, they appeared to be toying with our Predator. See what we can do and you can't, was the message I felt in my gut. The craft seemed curious about the Predator, often coming in for closer inspection. Later, I would recall this when Navy fighter pilot Alex Dietrich described the 2004 Tic Tac as maneuvering in a playful manner. Playful? What a strange description. Yet that was precisely my own impression as I watched this video. So, there you go. Right? We've got a Predator drone being followed by 3 orbs, but solid in structure as well, traversing in many different formations. Perfect triangle, linear, wedge, right? Traversing speeds, quite unbelievable. Making movements, pretty interesting. So there's this 23-minute video, right, of this. This is what's in it. Would be nice to know if we are ever going to get to see this video. But having this description is a huge, huge help, right, to better understanding what exactly Luis Elizondo was talking about. Now, it's just interesting because, let's be real. Who tweeted this out? Ashton Forbes. And if you remember, Ashton Forbes has been studying the MH370 videos, right? With 3 orbs chasing a plane, right? So that is interesting, right? I got to admit. And look, Ashton puts the examples right here below, right? Perfect triangle, 3 orbs, 3 lights, just like Luis Elizondo described. I have to admit, that is pretty interesting because these videos came out in 2014 right? And this story is just being revealed in Luis Elizondo's book in 2024. Now, Luis Elizondo said that this occurred during his time in ATIP, which was in the late 2000s and early 2010s, right? So before MH370, more than likely. So pretty interesting, I have to admit. Right? I do have to admit that is pretty interesting that the videos are essentially the same. 3 orbs, triangular formation, right? Just saying. Pretty interesting. Maybe Ashton was onto something. However you feel about it. Look, I'm as skeptical as anybody. Everyone knows that. So I do find this quite a coincidence, I have to admit. And I find it interesting. And I find that video absolutely compelling. And I would love to see it. Right? And the other videos that Lou mentions, right? He's not just saying just this video, but there's others, right? So this book is going to reveal a lot. However you feel about it, it will reveal a lot. So please, I do highly recommend you go pre-order the book if you can. If not, wait till it comes out. I'm sure definitely people will be covering what's in it, but I recommend supporting and getting the book, right? A lot of time was put into it. And again, however you feel about it, we are all going to be discussing it for a long time. And I think that deserves, a little something. Again, your choice. I will be getting it. I find the story interesting. And, we'll follow up on it. So what do y'all think? 23-minute Predator drone video. Again, links in the description. Go check it out. We'll see you guys on tomorrow's episode. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all.